I mean, you walk into these restaurants and it's, you have legacy system over someone's cousin's brother's friend.
Security systems.
Yeah, security systems.
Music systems. TV
fire
systems.
alarms. Yeah.
Fire alarms.
Yeah, and it's just, it's spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
It's a crapshoot. It's a hot mess.
Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ media production coming to you live from the National Restaurant Show in Chicago. 55,000 restaurant professionals all gathering in one place at McCormick Hall. 12 football fields, 2,200 vendors, people visiting from all over 100 countries represented. This is my fourth year at the show, and we're really grateful. We're grateful that Informa allowed us, podcasters. We have all different types of friends. A rising tide lifts all ships. Rev Ciancio, Troy Hooper, Matt Wampler. So many people have used this podcast stage, and our goal is always to let all the other restaurants that aren't able to make it here know why they should book a trip next year to come to Chicago. I have Dan Diaz. He is the CEO of F3 Tech. Dan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
How many years have you been coming to the National Restaurant Show?
This is our fourth year exhibiting. I have been to 8 total. Back in my Toast days, I would help out at the booth and work the booth for a couple of hours every day and build it up. And now I am exhibiting here.
So tell me about F3. What does F3 do? How do you help restaurants?
So we are a restaurant IT company, but we're all ex-industry restaurant people. So our tagline is Restaurant IT by Restaurant People. We can teach people the tech. I can't teach you how to be a server, where to stand in the kitchen, where do you go scream at in a restaurant. Like, I can't teach you that. You have to know that from your background, your history. And so we teach IT. We provide IT services to these restaurants. We install multiple point of sales all across the US, the UK, Canada, and who knows where else next.
It's exciting for me. I mean, we've been working with F3. We've been watching, as you know, we switched from a legacy point of sale system to a cloud-based system to Toast. I told them we're a barbecue media company. We're going to make videos, podcasts, and we're going to do a Toast unboxing. That Toast unboxing happened in July of 2020. And now we have multiple shows. Family Style, we do a show with Toast. We travel with Toast. I'm on the customer advisory board. I was at the IPO. But we believe in storytelling just as much as we believe in technology, just as much as we believe in hospitality. Can you share how many people do you have on the team doing unboxings across multiple point of sale systems all over the country at any given time?
So there's 114 F3 technicians across 36 states. And then we have a group of 5 in Canada. So at any given time, there could be about 119 installs happening, either remotely or on site.
119 installs.
Yep.
Lots of boxes, lots of coordinating. And let's talk about the pain point of switching over from a point of sale.
Oh, the stress. People don't understand, it's a new system. How do we do this? What do we do? Oh, wait, it's not like our old system. Let's just stop right now and walking them through everything and making sure they're comfortable. Because at the end of the day, you don't know if this is someone's last $1,000 in a restaurant. And, that's always the way we teach our technicians is you don't know. This could be grandma's recipe. This could be grandma's restaurant. And this is the last dollar they have.
Yep.
They need every single piece of hand-holding to make it through there and make that transition. And it's my favorite part of the whole job, actually.
Can you tell me about the support system? Because you guys lead with hospitality. You have people that are industry, that understand the pain points of, hey, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 doesn't really work for a restaurant owner to have support.
Yeah, we offer full 24/7 support, 365. You can call, text, Slack, email. A carrier pigeon would probably work too. Get it over to us, and we have a 94% first call resolution. So because we understand the point of sale so well, and because we also know the industry, so when they're talking about hot side, cold side, printers, prep stations, all that, we know what they're talking about. So we get it fixed fast, and then they're on to the next customer.
If you were building a restaurant, you yourself today, how important is the internet infrastructure? Because some of the things, if you go to the F3 booth, they have photos of closets, AV closets. And some of those photos are very embarrassing. Frankly, thankfully to Eric, shout out to Eric Olafson, who's my CFO and runs our closet, does all of our technology. He's also my CFO. But there was a time where we would be embarrassed to open up that closet. How many times are you helping restaurants no longer be embarrassed with their closets?
I would say of those 119 a day. I mean, you walk into these restaurants and it's, you have legacy system over someone's cousin's brother's friend.
Security systems.
Yeah, security systems.
Music systems. TV
fire
systems.
alarms. Yeah.
Fire alarms.
Yeah, and it's just, it's spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
And we go in there, we clean it up, we make it look all nice. Even if they're not one of our IT customers, we make it a point to make it very nice for them, leave them a port map. That way, whoever comes in after us, they know what they're doing. And they're not, blindly doing things. We talked before about the Orpheum. That was an 18-month project.
Yeah.
That is a 100-year-old building that has cables upon cables upon cables and really crazy stairwells and hidden walls and stuff like that. It's important to make the internet get to everywhere within your restaurant because everything that you have in your restaurant now is smart. Your alarms, your printers, your POS, your cameras, your tablets if you're doing open table, like it all connects to the internet, so you have to have a good connection.
Can you share a little bit about all the events that you've been participating in?
We were in New Orleans for the Super Bowl weekend, which was insane. I got to meet quite a few NFL stars and stare as I felt very short next to these guys.
I was just next to Von Miller. If you guys don't know, Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, Greener Pastures. You can go all the way to the other side. Greener Pastures. Go check him out. Phenomenal.
Yes.
I was very small next to Von Miller.
Yeah.
And I'm a big guy.
Trevor Lawrence, I looked up and I was like, wow. I mean, his hair was still above me. So we did the Orpheum party. We did the Fried Chicken Festival. We did Arc Festival. We did a couple of pop-ups here in Chicago, Dirty Disco. I mean, and the festival scene and the event scene is what I really truly love. That's fun for me because it's so chaotic. It's so hard to pull off, but it's fun. It's that rush of you're getting slammed, you're in the weeds, right? But it's a different kind of weeds. And there's 30,000 people at some of these events and there's music, there's all these famous artists and everything has to go so well. Otherwise you're going to look real embarrassing.
You're going to lose revenue, right?
Yeah, you're going to be down and it's not going to be good. And you're going to have, some DJs, John Summit upset at you because his Wi-Fi isn't working, I'd rather not deal with that.
When you walk the floor this year in particular, 2025, what gets you hopeful for the industry? There's a lot of things that people are worried about, scared about, reduced margins, increased labor costs. The list goes on and on. Running a restaurant is never easy. Doesn't matter what's happening.
I feel like we are bouncing back as together. We're uniting. You're seeing people from cross companies working more with each other to help each other, to help more restaurants. And I think that's important. The restaurant industry went through a really bad few years there. And to see us kind of uniting across different companies, across different platforms, that's impressive and awesome. And that's what we need.
For you, tell me about Chicago. A lot of people, this is the first time that they're coming to Chicago. Actually, for me, the first time I ever came to Chicago was because of the National Restaurant Show. You're from Chicago. You take a lot of pride in the hospitality. You take a lot of pride in the restaurants that are here. Tell me about Chicago.
I mean, Chicago is just a hardworking city. We have no problem dealing with the cold. We may not like it, but I think that cold really makes us stronger and more, hospitable. It is what it is. We deal with negative 50-degree weather. We're going to be able to handle a lot of crazy things. And so it's impressive to me to see the different pop-ups that come out of the different restaurants. And again, I said it before, my first interview ever with you guys was everyone knows everyone in Chicago. It happens every single year during NRA. Everyone's like, oh, we want to go here. We want to go there. Can Netflix get us in? I make a phone call because I know someone that was there. They know someone. And we're just grinders and we're hard workers. And our food scene, I dare to say, and I'm sure I will upset some people, I think Chicago has the best food scene in the country. We have whatever you want. If you want Asian food, if you want Mexican food, you want Puerto Rican food, we have all these different pockets where you can go and the food is amazing. I think we've gone out to a restaurant every single night this week. I've brought them somewhere different and the food's always been on points and the service has been on point. Sometimes they get a little bit cranky, but again, the service and the food is on points. And I'm so proud of that.
Tell me about how you today used artificial intelligence.
So it's funny because we are in the process of rolling it out for our scheduling and our scheduling of our technicians as they go out. And so being able to predict the traffic patterns of each city is important to us because when do they leave for the job, right? You have to use every single minute sometimes for an install. And so you need to be able to use that AI to know when to leave. When should I do this? When should I do that? And so now we're actually Austin Puckett, shout out to Puckett over there. We're having him learn more and more of the AI stuff to be able to build stuff for us.
Yeah.
Because we are very scrappy. We duct tape. We are WD-40. Like that's us as a company because that's our personality. But now, I said this earlier, I feel like the last year, we have grown 5 years mature-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw our booth last year. Our booth was just kind of a screen and we did what we did and now we're stepping up, but we're also we're reinvesting more into ourselves.
Yep.
So using AI, so that way, like for our MDM and stuff like that, and having Puckett be able to do things that don't take him 19 hours, instead of using ChatGPT, using AI to make it down to like 3 or 4 hours. So it's huge for us. We're scrappy. We're bootstrapped.
Yeah. Speaking of booths and booth sizes, I saw Hunter walking the floor earlier, trying to figure out, where's the best place for F3 for next year. We have a lot of vendors, a lot of tech partners, a lot of people that watch the show, listen to this podcast. What have you learned by participating in the show? And the crazy thing for me is like we started with this belief that if we told our stories on the internet, if we made videos, if we made podcasts, that we would connect with other like-minded people. And here we are, at the show, podcasting, doing YouTube videos, doing all kinds of really, really cool stuff. But still, there's the magic of the in-person. Like now everybody's here.
Yep.
And the more people that come, the better the show gets. Can you share what you guys have learned since the time you've been participating?
I mean, it's actually a really big thing for me is that there are more people out there like us, like you.
Yeah.
Right? The people that care, that will
That's
go
where we met. We
150.
met here at the show, first time, yeah.
It was Mr. Yum and did an intro to us, and that
100%.
we clicked, right? There are more people like us out there. For every, one of us, there might be about 100 who don't care.
Yep.
But those ones, those matter, they make the biggest impact. And so seeing you guys succeed, seeing ourselves grow, seeing our partners that we choose to work with very strictly grow, it's the people that are like us. And that is massively important to us. But like coming to the show and seeing them in person, my wife, she thinks that kind of like this is just like a big kind of like conference, but like she doesn't understand like all the little things that happen, all the important dinners, the important, drinks afterwards. They matter because having those people in your corner makes you a better person and a better company.
So recently F3 launched their YouTube channel.
Yep.
You guys have gotten uncomfortable, which is part of the keys to storytelling success, is if you're willing to look stupid, sound stupid, but just start and then start getting better, getting the data, making improvements. What advice would you have to anyone, whether you're a restaurant owner, whether you're a vendor, if you're a business owner, about storytelling? What have you learned?
I mean, what people don't realize, and it takes me sometimes, I forget myself, you are a great story yourself.
Yeah.
And people should hear your story. Since we began 5 years ago, we've had an incredible amount of highs and lows. And those stories matter to other people because, you can be an inspiration to someone. You can pass along the information that they didn't know. And I love that. That's my favorite part of my current position with F3 as the founder and CEO. I can share what I've learned so that way, hopefully someone doesn't have to go through all the crazy things that I did. I can just tell them, hey, do it this way or check this out, because what you go through day in, day out matters. And so everyone should tell their story. It may not seem important to one person, but I bet you it will to someone else. And that is a massive impact of like storytelling. Tell your story. You deserve to.
So how can people find your story? How can they find out more about F3?
Yeah, the website, f3tech.com. Beautiful website, by the way, from you guys.
Thank you. Shout out
Thank
to
you,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Kyle did some amazing website work, 100%.
You can find us at F3 Inc. on Instagram, on LinkedIn, F3 Technologies, YouTube, F3 Tech, I think, on YouTube.
Yes.
I mean, thank you for you guys, all your hard work on that stuff. You guys have been a massive asset and ally, and I really appreciate you guys.
Well, I think anybody that's listening, anybody that's watching, like you said, your story matters. And to the next point, no one's coming to tell your story. Like you have to own the fact that you can tell your story. You have all the tools available. Thank you to Informa. Thank you to the National Restaurant Association show. Thank you to F3. We are grateful that you guys are here. And if you always need anything, I'm weirdly available at Shawn P. Walchef. Instagram's probably the fastest, but all the platforms work. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
We appreciate the hospitality. Try some Malort or don't try
Absolutely
some Malort.
try some Malort.
Absolutely
I will make
try
sure
some
that you
Malort.
guys all try Malort before you leave Chicago. I have to.
The F3 Malort party. All right, we'll let you guys know where that's at. But we appreciate you as always. Stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode.
Thank you, Shawn.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this long, you are part of the community. You're part of the tribe. We can't do this alone. We started, no one was listening. Now we have a community of digital hospitality leaders all over the globe. Please check out our new series called Restaurant Technology Substack. It's a Substack newsletter. It's free. It's some of our deep work on the best technology for restaurants. Also go to YouTube and subscribe to Cali BBQ Media. Cali BBQ Media on YouTube. We've been putting out a lot of new original content. Hopefully you guys like that content. If you want to work with us, go to betheshow.media. We show up all over the United States, some international countries. We would love to work with you and your growing brand on digital storytelling. You can reach out to me anytime at Shawn P. Walchef on Instagram. I'm weirdly available. Stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode.